Hello, welcome to Talk of the Town. I'm your host, Jessa Jeremiah. We've got a great show for you today. Can't wait to check in with a nonprofit called Rise. You're going to want to learn about that. And definitely excited for our first guest. His name is Jonathan Zarov with the Madison Children's Museum. Thank you very much for being with us.
Thanks for having me.
You guys are so impressive, consistently getting ranked in the top 10 or 15 in children's museums. What is it about
Parents
that?
Magazine, the recent one was Reader's Digest, and they aggregate all these different lists, and they just named us in the top 10. I think it's because we're really unique and good at what we do, which is something pretty special. It's a very sustainable vibe. It's very much of the place. Like if you have guests, if you haven't been there, you've got to go. But if you have out-of-town guests coming, it's a really great place to bring people and say, this is what Madison is like. It's also very upcycled. I mean, that's partly it's built of things that we found nearby. It's like there's a gym floor all reassembled on the second floor there, all in a crazy, reassembled, not as it was as a gym floor. Our climber, other museums might have a really nice climber that's fun to play in, but it's made out of that like really smooth plastic. Ours is made out of 100 different weird things from all around the area, like a giant fishing buoy, and I forget what the slide was in its original life. And it's 2 stories, so it really is fun to let kids climb up through, and there's a car as one of the entrances, and you go up through it, and then you come down this big slide to get out of it. It's one of the most popular pieces in the museum. But it's really different than any other children's museums. Very sustainable, again, in that we have a green rooftop, we have an herb garden, we teach about urban gardening. We have a log cabin out back that's one of the oldest structures in the state. All these are outdoor areas, and the rooftop is really special. It's just way up there on the top. It's all green and lush and beautiful. You see the Capitol on one side and Lake Mendota on the other side. And there's chickens and homing pigeons. So those are some of the things that make it special, I think.
Yeah, just to name a few. My goodness, so many wonderful things that makes it so unique. But there's also an educational factor that's happening.
There is, and it's not the kind of educational thing like where you read a sign and you learn a fact and now you know something you didn't know. It's more of that deep, rich environment you want to put your kids in so that they are really making connections and learning on a deep level and preparing to learn in school. I mean, it's a great place for school readiness. We think kids ought to be getting in really early. We actually started a free first-time parent membership recently because we want people bringing in parents, first-time parents especially, bringing in their kids when they're just a couple months old, because it really starts to benefit kids that early. And it's the kind of thing where it's very open-ended play. So sometimes you'll look at something and go, what is this and what do we do with it? And your kid will lead the way and they'll figure it out and you'll figure it out together. And it's an environment too where kids are encouraged to solve problems together, and so they end up interacting a lot. And because we're right in the middle of the city and we're not in any one neighborhood, we bring a lot of different kinds of families together. We also have tremendous access programs, so money is never a barrier, and that creates a lot more diversity in the museum. You get in for $1, you can get a $10 membership if you qualify according to lots and lots of different programs. People can go to childrensmuseum.org to find out all about that. But basically, it's just a really incredibly enriching learning environment.
Oh my gosh, no kidding. Well, I love the way that you talk about that sort of like organic learning that's happening, not so systematically, and what a great way to have fun while you're learning. Now, you have some special events that are coming up I want to make sure we touch on.
Yes, the ones coming right up are May the 4th weekend. May the 4th be with you, which is a big weekend for Star Wars fans.
Yes.
And there's Adult Swim on Friday night. That is 21 and up, no kids allowed, which might sound odd for a children's museum, but we have a very popular Adult Swim program. Like you kick the kids out of the pool. There's no pool at Madison Children's Museum, but like you kick the kids out and the adults get to swim laps, that kind of thing. So there's a blue bantha milk cocktail that the Roman Candle is serving at May the 4th be with you on Friday night.
Now that one's almost sold out, right?
Yes,
so you gotta get
that's
on
right. Get on that, MadisonChildren'sMuseum.org. They do sell out or come close to selling out a number of times, but this one just being a Star Wars-oriented one. It's Star Wars origami, there's a scavenger hunt, and people just love to play in the museum without the kids. A lot of 20 and 30-somethings in there, but however old you are, come on down. Then we've got The Fifth Strikes Back and Revenge of the Sixth. And those 2 days on the weekend, Saturday and Sunday, are all for kids. And it's some of the same stuff, which is interesting. Like kids and adults really they play differently, but they all like creative, fun stuff, doing crafts. Like adults and kids, we find like a lot of the same things. And so we get to use a lot of the same things for the whole Star Wars weekend.
I love like that idea. And really quick, we do have to head to break, but I want to make sure we talk about the American Girl benefit sale.
Yes, that is a huge fundraiser, not just for us, but it brings in about $1 million in July 21st and 22nd. About half of that goes to the American Girl Fund for Children, and then we run the sale, and it's an important event for us. Really huge with American Girl doll fans, and especially some who have been coming. It's been going on 30 years, and today is the day. Well, this week actually is all pre-sale week. So you need to go to the site and kind of find the link, MadisonChildren'sMuseum.org, and that's a pre-sale lottery. You'll find out more about it on there. It's a little complicated because we need to really, people really want these early tickets. If you want to make it simpler, the general on sale is May 15th, and then you just go on and you buy a ticket according to your time. It'll be a little later in the day. But go to basically you pick up American Girl dolls and merchandise, and basically American Girl and Mattel have been very good to us over the years, and they give us merchandise in overstock, and we fix it up, repackage it, whatever we sell it, it's in great shape, and they're great deals on American Girl merchandise.
Wow, what a great way to raise $1 million. Jeez,
yes.
Louise. You guys are wonderful. Again, this is Jonathan Zaroff with the Madison Children's Museum. I encourage you and your family to check it out or head to one of those events. Thanks for being with us.
Thank you so much.
We'll be right back with more Talk of the Town.